I'm a secondary school teacher, an outdoor instructor. My background is in whitewater kayaking and the outdoors in general, hiking, rock climbing. It was important for me to do this on a personal level really. I'm kind of starting to get a little bit older. I've been kayaking for 16 years. You know, I know 32 isn't that old, but I've spent a lot of times in the rivers kind of scaring myself. So I wanted to do something that I would enjoy, that I would kind of relax into, something that I could take in more about nature and think more about what's going on around me. Bashar asked me to come on this expedition and I decided to come on it. It was a lot more different than what I'm used to. So I'm used to going to a lot of rivers and kind of venturing into gorges and into these different places, but the sea is something that I haven't been on an expedition on. I decided to come on it because I could take in more of what's around me. I found myself on the rivers really kind of focusing on the rapids, focusing on my friends. I knew that if I was in the sea that my skills, I had no problems with the skills, but I could really take in the surroundings, the nature, the environment. It's a sea kayaking expedition. The majority of my expeditions are in whitewater. Bashar asked me to come on this and I decided to give something different a go. Bring my skills from the river to the sea. We've seen loads of wildlife and marine life in this expedition. Turtles has been a huge part of our expedition. We've come across so many turtles. We've saved 3 between the 3 of us, which is amazing, you know. The turtle's actually at one of the fanciest hotels in Dubai. I'm a little bit jealous. We've come across a whale as well. We were at an island that we've named Cormorant Island, and we've seen a dead whale there, which is quite interesting. Obviously cormorants as well, which has been a huge part of our expedition. I've seen these birds all over the world, at home, in Africa, in America, everywhere. And we came across an island of where they lay their eggs, where they breed, you know. I thought that was amazing. You know, you could see the child in the bird. They were so innocent, they had nothing. They didn't have the experience yet, and they were learning straight, and we could see them learning from us, which was amazing. Dolphins has been a huge part of this trip. We've seen loads of dolphins. Oman has been amazing. We were able to paddle around the place, and these dolphins knew we were there. They stayed around us. They were playing games with us at one stage. I reckon that they could see us paddling one direction, they'd pop up, and then they'd go underneath us, and we'd turn around and we'd go towards them, and they'd do it again. So we were going back and forward. They're definitely one of the smartest animals out there. Another one was the sailfish, and the sailfish are the fastest fish in the sea.
Monsieur, did you see that sailfish?
120 kilometers they've been clocked at, and one of them jumped up right in front of me, around 2 meters in front of my kayak a couple of days ago. These are the type of moments that you can't pay for, you can't even imagine. I was standing at the bank of a mangrove, and I looked over and I see this fox peeking out from behind the bush, and I'm looking closely at this fox, and it's rumsing around the side, and it's got a fish in its mouth. Okay, these are the type of times, these amazing times in your life that you hang on to, and I still have the picture image in my head. Main experience is whitewater kayaking. 2 years ago exactly, I think, we spent 7 months going through Africa, and we stopped off at the Zambezi, and we spent a lot of time in the eastern highlands of Zimbabwe and on the Zambezi at really high water. This is something that we're going to do, something very similar here. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting on with you boys and seeing what we're made of. So the skills we're going to be practicing are our rolls, which are very important. Using moving water, so our edges and all that kind of stuff. How our bodies work really well with the boat. Our forward stroke technique, all this type of stuff. So we're going to be basically trying to develop ourselves as much as possible and bringing these skills that we learned here to the sea and to the rest of our expedition, keeping us safe and strong. So. Was absolutely amazing. I've been missing this so much. My arms are pumped to the max, full of lactic acid. What I'm going to do now is go catch up with the lads and see how they're getting on and have loads of fun.
That was really nice. Nice. Good job. First river in the desert.
Yeah.
That's how we do it here. Everything in the desert. Even the sea in the desert. The dunes have a lot.
Mansour is an interesting character. I think he brings so much to this expedition. He's a professional BMXer and a professional messer as well. He's an absolute pleasure to be around the whole time. All it is he takes care of everybody. He knows exactly how to work together in a team. It's his first expedition, which I'm blown away by. We have a little bit of a joke going on. We call ourselves the Three Amigos. I suppose it's more of a personal thing, really. We are a very tight team. Each one of us brings different things. Had different times when we're out on the water where we've had hard times, we've had easier times. You know, we do work together. I think it's fantastic.